Hi. Hi, everyone. Oh, my goodness. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and I'm kind of glad. I feel like it's been really busy, and I don't have much going on this weekend. So I'm probably going to chill out, share myself out here just a bit. I hope everybody's enjoying the adventure travel theme um, event today. Believe I've watched everybody that's been on. I've watched a little bit of Christy and Cheryl. So, I was telling Cheryl on her live just a minute ago that she's going to laugh if she gets on here because of the similarities in the projects. But, they're different enough that I think that's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to see how different people do something and their interpretations. So, this is going to be fun. Oh, I meant to grab. I'm going to wait a minute and then I am still going to go grab. I meant to grab one of my first journals just because, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to see how far you've come. I do have my very first journal that I thought was a travel journal. But thank you, Christy. Thank you. And I've shown it before. It's right here. I keep it right here because it cracks me up every single time I look at it, too. Um, I'll show you guys that. I also have mentioned lately several times my mermaid piece picture that I made while on vacation. And I have it right here that I was going to show. All kinds of stuff all over the top of it. Mama Peace patchwork of friendship squares all over the top of it. So I'm excited. This is fun. Travel is always a fun topic because there's all kinds of, oh my gosh, the possibilities are really endless when it comes to doing a travel themed anything. Trains, planes, and automobiles, hot air balloons, boats. There's just so much you can do. Hi, Sue. Hi, Sarah. Thanks, guys, so much for joining me. I'm going to have myself a little drink. I don't know why I'm out of breath. It's weird. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and point this down. And I'm going to flip it around. Wow. There we go. Hi, Carol. Okay. So this is really dusty. Really dusty. That's embarrassing. Now, it's been hanging out on the floor over here. It's got all kinds of paint splatters and everything. But hi there. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Ann. Hi, Cheryl. Let's see. Can I open this? Yeah. So this is just a piece of paper that I took with me on vacation. These are shells from when we were on vacation. This is all of our coffee filters. Her hair and her little fin here are all coffee filters. So I don't know. Every time I see this, I think of that beach vacation with me and my husband. Hey, Sue. Hi, Callie. Hey, Cheryl. So there's that. Just because even if you do it in your travel journal, I mean, you can do something more with it too when you get home. It doesn't have to stay there. Hi, Pam. So I have shown this before. This is really embarrassing. And before Cheryl has to go, I thought I would just show. Isn't that, Cheryl, is this the exact paper you were using? I was like, you are going to laugh when you see this. Isn't that funny? We might have the same angel. So this journal right here, it was my very first attempt. See how all of my pages come out beyond my cover. see how that is so awful, and it's just something that's fun to look at because it reminds you, just do it. Just get started. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You don't learn unless you get in there and get your hands dirty. So if you're nervous or afraid about starting, I mean, just do it. And I can tell you the difference between this journal and the one I did next, night and day. I learned so much by doing by doing this little guy right here. And I keep him for that reason. Hey, Linda. Yes, it is the same paper. That's funny. That is so funny. And I'm also doing a paper bag. Now it's completely different. Here is my little paper bag journal. I haven't done anything on the inside yet. I had to make this up real quick. I want to say Kim from the group, I don't know if she's on here, Kim Bruce. She got her pick of prizes. She won a challenge, and she chose I made a garden journal using this method with the paper bags, and she chose that. Or even OCD. What did I say, Sue? OCD and ADD. Because I don't even know what I said. All right, let me grab these bags. I want to show you how I got to this point here. So these bags, I got them. And when you're ordering these paper bags on Amazon or whatever, they have a weight. Pay special attention because you can see through mine. You see my hands in there? And I figured, why not? I'm just going to do the cheapest one. But I'm just telling you, they are a little bit harder to work with when they're this thin. So just take your bag and open it up and use these side seams here to flatten her out. So yeah, first thing you're going to do is just flatten it out. And of course, you could do this with any size bag. It could be a little small, like pastry, any bag that's this shape. And I think that this right here is what makes it harder to work with when it's so thin. And then you're just going to squish it flat here on this end. Oh, exactly, Sue. Yes, I see what you mean. Yes. I think that it's good therapy, honestly, because you get over so many. I mean, I have gotten over so many of my little things that I thought had to be a certain way, and they do not. They do not. I'm embracing the chaos and the no rules. That is, just being creative and artistic, which, I mean, who on here believes that junk Cheryl says about not being an artist? Cheryl, if you're still on here, you are definitely an artist. Okay, after this, I just glued this shut, just completely shut. I want to say that this might be something we did in the group. I know for a fact the first place I saw it was the vintage journal. And to give her the credit on that. And then you take your second bag. Yes, definitely therapy, right? Hi, Peggy. Maritza. Am I saying your name right? And I feel like you've been on here before, but I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you. But I could be wrong. So you're gonna cut this off. And I like to cut that part off. Usually, it can be done at any time though. Happy Wednesday, Carol. And we're going to flatten this one out, same as we did the other one. And I'm gonna put it shut too. Just slapping some glue in there. And then you take this one, and I'm going to glue all the way around on it. And all that's doing is just, I feel like, you know, it kind of strengthens it a little bit. And then you're going to stick this inside here. And voila. Oh, slippity slidey. Okay, and now it is just a long piece. Fold it over. And then this right here becomes the flap. It is, but it's kind of big, Marcia. It's a little bit big. Of course, you do flatten it out. I didn't realize how big that these lunch-size sacks would make this, doing it this way. So I think if I were to do it again, I would go somewhere in between, you know, I would go a little bit smaller than this. But yes, this is a lunch-size sack. So all I did here, the only difference between this and this, on this one I did cut off the thumb notch, and I just did this really quick right before going live, so that we didn't have to glue all the paper on. And then I just glued paper down on the front and back and the flap, and that's the only difference. I did sew around a little bit. Hi, Phyllis. So yeah, super easy, and I like this for a closure. I want to say on the very first one I did that Kim has, that I wasn't thinking about it or whatever, or, you know, I think I made it like this to where the flap opened here. And this one, I like it better like this, I believe. Okay, so that's where we're at. I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm done at 1:30, but I want to go ahead and do the closure, just because that sounded like I was getting ready to break out in song. I promise you I'm not. That is a big button, isn't it? It might just be a little bit too big. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that. Let's see here. Oh, there's a big button in that one too. Did you guys ever get buttons from like estate auctions? I just picked some up that I got. Oh, look how cute. And it was a lot of buttons, and usually you get some really cool buttons, you know, especially if they're in tins, like, you know, they've been in that tin for generations. This one was in a bunch of the Bear honey jars, and I don't know, there wasn't any real cool ones. I was like, come on. Come on. I'm still happy to have the buttons, but still. You always look for that different. I mean, I think that we can all see here that, can you guys tell that this is kind of a burgundy? Yeah, there you can kind of see. I think that goes really well. So I'm not going to cover it. Sometimes I will cover the button, but I'm not, if it's just serving a functional purpose and it's not cute, I'll cover it with just by doing a hole punch out of whatever paper I'm using, you know, and that is also in that video where I got this idea. So I'm going to say this. Let me think. I'm trying to decide if I want to do another one to do the kind of figure 8 thing or just have it wrap around. For now, I'm going to put some thread in here. Whoo! My goodness. The paper pack that I have for my group, which I see a few of you in here, Phyllis and Linda was in here, went out yesterday, and I was having issues. I was having printer issues, and I was having issues with another element that I can't say because it's a surprise. And so it just became stressful to get, I was right on target. I like to get they go out on the 10th every month, and I like to get them at the post office. You missed the video connection. What happened? I don't understand what you mean, Sue. And so anyway, I feel like I'm still I've got that monthly paper pack subscription hangover today. Get in there, Sully. I was just wanting one more pass through because I'm just going to glue it on. I'm not going to actually sew it. But I do like there to be sticky outy threads. That's why I'm tying it in the front. Put stop. Just gonna fray those out a little bit. Don't. So I started thinking about this. This little one. This is one that we did in the creative club, and I'm trying to think. I like the idea of it being on this clip. Maybe I can do something like that. I have to actually do it though. Hey, Jenny from the block. How are you, girl? Everybody, your packages all went out. I think Jenny, actually, I think yours may have been the last one that went out yesterday. So if I clip that there, the ribbon. Am I not going to want to use this button? Let's see, do I have... Oh, sorry, Sue. Yes. It's on, the page is called The Vintage Journal. A lot of you probably already follow her because she's does such cool and amazing things. But that's where I first saw this, and she's using a small bag. Like Like the entire bag is about this size to start. I'm sure you guys see what I'm trying to do and are like, it's so easy. So where do I want this connected, I guess is, oops, sorry, what I'm saying. I don't need it to be that long. This is what I want to do for the closure. I like these clips. I just think that they're cute. And because it has the ribbon and the clip, if this gets to be like this big, you know, it still works. It still works. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the inside. Now I did glue my my bags. Again, this paper bag is really thin. So let's do some envelopes. I wanted to get some envelopes in here. I don't mind junk ones either. I don't mind the junk ones either. Why can't I find the envelopes I'm looking for? Sorry, guys. I think they're back here. Yep, of course they are. Pardon my rear end up in the air there. You do follow? Yeah. She does just the neatest things, right? That's glassine. I kind of like that color and that color. Okay. Who stocked up on envelopes for $1.24 at Hobby Lobby whenever I bought these? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a signature. I want pretty much every signature to have pockets or places to put your menus. No judgment. That's right. Thank you. I mean, I suppose if somebody was going to judge me, you know, I mean, they're going to. What do I care? That's their business, right? Not mine. But I want there to be a lot of places to put stuff. Pictures, ticket stubs, menu items, journal cards. I know certain, I don't know about you guys, but when we go on vacation, we usually drive, but road trips always seem to have a song, you know? I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but when my oldest daughter was in Vermont, and me and our two younger daughters drove up there to see her, there was a Taylor Swift song. I cannot even remember now which one it was, but it was on repeat the entire trip, it felt like. another beach trip, not the one where I made that mermaid shadow box thing, but do you guys remember Frankie, the Four Seasons? Oh, What a Night. I swear it seemed like my husband and I sang and danced to that song the entire trip. Oh, what a night. Okay, so there's one that way. This one is this way. This one, we'll use this as a hinge. I am like way not really centered here, aren't I? There, that's better. Frankie Valley, yep. Honey, honey. I mean, it just, I don't know why it happens that way. It just seems to. Maybe that's just me. I think you kind of have to be a music person, like a music lover, to catch that vibe, probably. Let's see. I think I like that. You know, these big wide ones are cool, but at the same time, I think I'd rather have more. I think I'd rather have more. Okay, so I am just going to hinge these two together. And you can use paper, which actually, let me set that aside for a second. Since we have like where I trimmed off the paper, I have some more over there. Yeah, these will be good to make hinges. Good heavens. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, now that song's in my head. The Oh What a Night song. I didn't do this on the other side, but it'll be easier to. Okay, make sure I have it the right side open. Where's it open at? What did I do? Glue it all the way shut? I glued that side shut, so this side's open. Lord, okay. This one opens like this. I'm going to go ahead and, do I want it to be like an accordion? I don't think so, but oh, I have some Happy Mail. I know, this is such a good song. I have some Happy Mail that I got from my good friend Sarah. Sarah, who is probably on here still or maybe listening. And this is a travel journal, and these are postcards, but I want to find one that's not written on. Super duper sweet. She sent me these postcards, and that way I can make this be a flip out for just like that. But I am going to now I'm going to glue the whole flap down because it has this glue anyway. A lot of times I just try to do the very edge, but for this one I don't want something to happen where that glue gets activated. And now that's cutting it a little close. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Aww. I always, whenever there's a musician that passes away, I always, like when Prince died, it's so funny. I had several people call and check on me. like it was a family member. Okay, I want it to be vertical. That's why I'm changing this. And the reason I want it to be vertical is because I'm only going to glue this one. And this postcard, I don't know if you guys can, it's almost like vinyl. Hi, Lori. I'm only going to glue on one side. And I really like making these. This is something I learned from watching Kathleen Maurer, and she's on YouTube. Her business name is Be Again Books. And she calls these peekaboo pockets because then she'll do like a collage. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to do something to kind of bridge the gap there. And then when you put something in, you can see it. It's kind of like a belly band, but going this direction. You may have seen me make them before. Hey, Cindy. So let's see. I know, no. That's only travel themed because we don't live there. Okay, we'll start there. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and put this because I don't know if you remember when I said I'm going to go ahead and glue the entire flap down, where normally I would leave this part of the flap up and only glue right here. That's so that I can, make the bridge. I want to be able to tuck something underneath both of them. It's gonna have to be that. Maybe like that. Ooh, this is good. This is that scrapbook where I take my scraps and make pages. It's just an old book block, but this one says goodbye till we meet again. So that's really good for this. That one's kind of good for it too. I was really looking for more of just there we go. I like that building, so I don't necessarily want to cover too much, but we need a little something else. I feel like the race is on. The race is on, which makes a difference. A totally different song gets stuck in my head now. Do you guys remember that 90s country song? Do there. That. Okay, so I like that. Oh, come on, you. So you just have to kind of take note of where not to glue. I actually did that a little bit. Do, do, do. I just want a little card. Okay, so yeah, it can be all the way back there and come to there. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good tuck spot. But I do think we need something. Floral. This is a fall thing, but it really matches that purple washi that I used. And then I will just do like a 3-hole pamphlet stitch to get this into my paper bag thing. Mufasa, what is the deal? And like the colors of this sky and the brick on the building, this really came together through no pre-planning of my own. Okay, that we'll use. So here is what we have. We have this pocket, this pocket, this pocket, and that tuck. And then this one going this way. How come I can't? Oh, how come I can't think about this? Can I just... I'm trying to figure out my hinge, you guys. I'm unhinged. I'm unhinged, literally. That's funny. Funny. I think that when you cut uneven and you have a cutting issue like I do, rounding the corners helps. It helps hide your problem. Ugh. Okay, so I am just going to fold this in half. I am making this up as I go along. I know I've done the little hinged books and stuff before, and this is not how I did it, but we're going to do it this way anyway. Maybe. Why is that not straight? I can't cut straight, y'all. I can't fold straight. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna put this on here. I don't know why this seems weird, but it's what's happening. It's what's happening. I think it's gonna work. Oh no, come down. So let's see, is anybody doing a Father's Day cookout party, anything along those lines? Ugh. Driving me crazy. And, you know, double duty because it's covering up that barcode right there. Also, a lucky accident, no pre-planning on my part. It's just flowing. My sister and I were talking yesterday with my mom, and I mentioned my dad's red shop rack out of the back of his pocket. So let's see, what do we want to do with this? For now, I'm just going to tuck that in. But you could totally do labels for each of these pockets, you know, especially if you are doing Absolutely, absolutely. You guys, after me, Michelle with Pretty Pieces by Michelle is up. So you will just refresh your page and she will be in the crafty bunch. Um, let's see. Tomorrow I'll be live and I'll be working on Cheryl Mama P's Patchwork of Friendship Square. Friday, there's another crafty bunch event. This one brought to you by Heidi, Joyful Artistry by Heidi, and it's the French soiree. So yeah, as always, there's lots and lots of stuff to do in the crafty bunch. Lots and lots and lots. This could just be, I might trim it down so that that's a little bit more straight. I kind of want to washi tape that, so I probably will. Whatever I did with it. But where is my, where's the journal we'll make it today? Here it is. But this will be in here and many, many more pages because it could be as fat as you want it to be. The paper bag is really flexible. You've got this kind of tie where you're just going around like so. You can either reclip it to this, then it ain't going nowhere. But yeah, refresh your page for Pretty Pieces by Michelle, and I will see you guys tomorrow and Friday. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers and father figures out there. Bye, guys.